Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday afternoon. Welcome into this, another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Randy Lee. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Auburn got a big game tonight with Texas A&M in College Station. Auburn, you know, this is a game that Texas A&M came into Auburn, broke their winning streak a couple of weeks ago. Auburn having a chance to go over there and maybe
return the favor,
a
yes.
little bit. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll break that game down a little bit. A lot of other stuff going on. You know, we'll talk about maybe some little article came out. One of the defensive coordinators that we don't know a lot about, Ron Roberts. I didn't know anything about him when he came to Auburn. So article came out about a little bit more about what his defense might look like. We might take a look at that if we have some time today. But we always appreciate your comments and your thoughts. So give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind, 256-234-6221. Or you can dial us up on the Sportz Blitz Facebook page, that's Sports with a Z, and comment away. As always, we are brought to you by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, Russell Do-It Center, and Big Fish Real Estate here. We could not do this show without our great partners here on the Auburn Blitz. We appreciate them as much as always. Randy, how you doing?
I'm glad to be here, Andy. I'm glad to be on set with you again. Glad to see that you are on the rebound and you're sounding and looking good over there. And hey, I do want to put a little. At times, you know, we work with a lot of these corporate partners that we have, and I had upfront knowledge that Mortgage Pro was a great group, and Eric McKinley ran a tight ship as he refinanced my home a couple of years ago, which, by the way, thank the good Lord above I refinanced when I did, because since then it's about 3 times as much from an interest rate standpoint as what we had then. But nonetheless, he was great to work with then, but I may be in the market currently for another piece of real estate. My wife tends to like real estate, and she I don't think I'll ever be out of the market for real estate at this point in time through the end of my life. But I needed something from Eric Sunday night, middle way through the night, send him something over. 30 minutes later, I've got exactly what I want. And so he's just a super business person. You hear about a lot of people, and you don't know exactly what they mean. Brett and I have talked about Kevin Keel like that. Yeah. You know, if something happens with my heating and air, and I call him, it's not like he always picks up on the first ring, and he's always got a try for a solution on it. And so I wanted to throw that along there because, you know, you hear about some of these business people in our community, and the reason they're as successful as they are is because they run a very good business. And Eric McKinley and Kevin Keel and many of these, all of those down at the bottom, I can't say enough good things about, but I did want to pass that along about Eric.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Let's start with Texas A&M because that's the biggest and that's the most relevant story. Got the best of us, and really it wasn't. I mean, they kind of pulled away. You know, won by what 16 when they came into Auburn. Got the numbers here. Radford went off for 30, and Brett has talked about that. You know, about one guy. It seems like every time Auburn plays them, they let one guy, you know, go for 25 or 30, and that's something that's cost Auburn. over the last several weeks. Looking at this game, projecting it forward here, you look down through the numbers, and Texas A&M is not. They're 16-7, 8-2. Kind of started slow this season, but have picked it up obviously, and are playing really well right now. When you look down through there, what stands out the most as far as why Auburn wasn't able to win that game, and what do they do? What do they need to do tonight?
I tell you what I love about this matchup when it comes is that it's only a couple of weeks since we lost at home to Texas A&M, and anyone that cares or knows anything about basketball had the same recommendations as you and I and all the talking heads that have called in on our program and said. And so I like that it's 2 weeks later and we've got the chance to try to change things up defensively where our problems were. Right. You could not play basketball better than we played defensively on Saturday. Right. We limited Tennessee to about 20% from the field. I can keep going down. I mean, I think they shot 8% from behind the three-point arc. Yep. It was a pitiful shooting effort. Unfortunately, kind of noting what Bruce Pearl said in his post-game interview, I think we got better opportunities than they did in the game. I think we made their shots tougher, but we couldn't hit anything either. But we had chances, and hopefully those things start falling. So, Andy, I'll say, if you ask me, with this matchup with Texas A&M, what worries me and what stands out to me, of course, it's the length at the guard position and our inability to transfer responsibilities if we don't want to hedge that pick up at the top and we end up, trading who we've got, who we're matched up with. So those switches have been problems for Auburn in the years past. It's kind of a mainstay for a Bruce Pearl defense. But when you're getting a 5'10", 5'11" guy, whether it be Green or Jasper, rotating over to a 6'3" or 6'4" physical guard, those matchups don't work too well for Auburn. I saw us Saturday, watched it, and I thought we got over the top of a lot of those picks, and we made it a lot tougher on the perimeter. So that will be the start. Can we keep one of these guards, one of these lengthy wings like we had this past Saturday? Not Tennessee, but was it the West Virginia game the Saturday before where Stevenson went off for about 30? Yep. He's 6'4", 6'5". That's a problem for us. So how do we match up there? And so I'm glad that it's happening tonight because my eyes are fresh on what I saw a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, A&M hit 7 threes. Auburn hit 3. They had 16 points off turnovers. Auburn had 6 points off turnovers. That's one of the things that's common. It's been a thread through the entire season. You see Auburn shooting 28% from behind the line, but Texas A&M only shooting 31% from behind the line. But there it is, that forced turnovers. A&M forcing 14 and a half turnovers a game and scoring 18 points off turnovers a game. I mean, Auburn's got to not only make shots, they got to take care of the ball.
Got to change what we're doing offensively up at the top of the key. When things break down, it can't just be Wendell Green up at the top getting 2 defenders running at him. Most of the time, lengthy defenders like we saw in the Miami matchup this past year in the NCAA tournament. And tip your hat to Buzz. Buzz saw and learned from that, setup with Miami, and he's got Bruce's number right now. I think he's won 4 of the 5 meetings that the two of them have had since he's at Texas A&M. I'm a huge Buzz fan. I always have been.
Oh, yeah.
I just like the way he carries himself. He's kind of got that bullish demeanor that Bruce Pearl has. And so we'll see the matchup.
3-piece suit.
Yeah, he's sweating his life away over there, and but he's coaching it up, and I think he's one of the best college coaches there is out there, and he's at a place that oddly starts slow every year. That they do this year in and year out, and then they get to conference play and they turn it on, and they play a really, and that's odd. It's really, when you get to SEC play, you would expect it to kind of come back to the middle of the pack, but it's not that way. It's the same with Arkansas.
And it's not like they're playing a murderer's row schedule.
No.
In the out of conference.
And I don't know if that's Buzz throwing different variations to the lineup out there in the early season before conference. You know, different coaches have different ways that they get their team prepared. And, you know, Arkansas seems to be turning the corner a little bit. Can they turn it on like they normally do when it becomes, you know, whether it be SEC tournament time or NCAA tournament time? What have they made, the 8th the last 2 years?
So I think that's
I
right.
think Arkansas has, you know. So once the NCAA tournament, they've been one of the best, if not the best, from the SEC moving forward. So can they get it going? But A&M, nonetheless, I like the matchup. I think Auburn is fresh with what we saw and need to have some of these changes. And I think the matchup with Texas A&M will be what we'll see when we play some of these teams, hoping that we make the NCAA tournament. You know, they're going to be watching this Bruce Pearl-led attack and go back to see what Miami and others have done that have caused us problems in years past. There's no rhyme or reason on how that is, and so I feel like changing that up and doing it tonight will be a good start.
Hopefully so. We got to take our first break of the show, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin, comfort for life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City. J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you. About 45 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. We are brought to you each and every day by Russell Do It Center. They got 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do It Center today. We were talking about the Auburn basketball game tonight. Auburn at Texas A&M, 6 o'clock on ESPN2 this evening. Auburn looking to return the favor as Texas A&M came into Neville Arena and defeated the Auburn Tigers January 25th earlier this year. Mike wants to know our first comment of the day. What do you think about our old buddy Kevin Steele going back to Alabama to be the DC?
I mean, it's not a splash hire by no means, but when we hired him, it wasn't a splash hire. Andy Graham did an entire program where he said that it was quite possibly one of the worst hires he's ever seen at Auburn. And he hoped at the time that it wouldn't come back to be truthful, his thoughts, and it actually didn't. So he put together a good defense for a squad that wasn't a very good defensive team before he got there. So I can't knock Kevin Steele too much. I'm glad he's not our head coach. Some of the powers that be at Auburn wanted him to be our head coach. Yeah. Would I have rather him be our head coach than what we got with Brian Harsin? Sure, anything could have been better than what we got with Brian Harsin. But so I think the two hires for Alabama at the coordinator positions are okay hires.
Okay.
Your thoughts? Not bad. Neither one of them bad hires. Just neither one of them Steve Sarkisian or Lane Kiffin type hires where I go, if they can keep that fool in line, they can get a pretty good offensive coordinator out of him. Not the same. I wonder how much baggage Jeremy Pruitt carrying kept him from getting that role.
I would have to say a lot. Tommy Rees, I don't know. I mean, I've watched Notre Dame a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay. I'm not overly impressed with him. Kevin Steele is what he is. I think they'll be pretty good. But the first time he hired him, it didn't last but a year, and he, moved along. So we'll see what happens. I don't think a lot of Alabama people, from what I hear, I don't think a lot of Alabama fans are happy with either hire.
Well, your thoughts out there. I'm sure we've got a couple of people that tune into this program daily, tune into it a lot more than I do, that are Alabama fans that could give us a little rundown of their thoughts with it. But, I don't think they're bad hires. I don't think either one of them are questionable hires. I feel like both are well down the list of first choices, though. Is that fair to say?
I think that's fair to say.
I think Jeremy Pruitt would have been ideal.
Yeah.
But the baggage he's carrying makes it feel like the SEC or the school just couldn't sign off on that. I don't know. That, to me, it would be a much better fit for the long term.
Yeah.
But what do I know? You know, he's just a horrific head coach. I mean, the only saving grace he had in the SEC is he got to go up against a ill-prepared Gus Malzahn-led team in 2018 in Auburn. I think it's the only way he got off Sinai, wasn't it?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So we've been helpful for a lot of programs out there to not really fall completely. South Carolina, we've been very helpful to them over the years.
It's true.
They've been terrible and beating us terrible. Gosh, thank the Lord, Hugh Freeze. And we've got a little bit of positive momentum going with that football program right now.
Well, you know what? That brings up an issue. We'll get to some other things. We might get back to the basketball. Game day coming back to Auburn. Duke, Cameron Indoor, and Neville Arena, the only two places that game day has been for the last 3 straight years. For 3 years in a row. It wasn't in 2021, but 2020, 2022, and 2023. The show did shows in Cameron Indoor and Auburn Arena. I mean,
not surprised about Cameron. Of course, we're all surprised about Neville and Auburn Arena, but I think Bruce Pearl can sell that product and sell our program with the best of them. And I think that what he gives these television outlets as far as his willingness to help, his willingness to come on, his willingness to be talent from time to time, does nothing but help Auburn University when it comes to, don't you think this would be a good time to show up in Auburn?
And it's the students.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've said that, we said that for years. And I said, look, if you can't get the students to show up, then you got no chance. If you can get that student body to show up, then you've got something. And, I mean, they have shown up in droves, and now it is the ticket to have. So if you got that going, that's how you get that crowd to be what it is. And it turned out it was a kind of a brilliant move to make the arena smaller, and cozy, and to put the students where they are on that side and give them that. And they have responded in grand fashion.
Well, and our team has responded with them there and with the fan base that seems to show up night in and night out. And, you know it's going to be rabid on Saturday, and it needs to be, because it's a very, very good Alabama team. This is a national championship contending Alabama team, and if you want to split with them this year, I'm not saying we can't go on the road and beat them in Tuscaloosa, but I am kind of saying I don't expect us to go on the road and beat them. But it's a 50-50 chance for us here. Good luck to them coming into that environment on Saturday, because it's a good enough Auburn team to beat anybody. Yeah. Look at the game Saturday. I mean, the game Saturday is proof positive that this Auburn team can go on the road or play with anyone, anywhere. Even when we played as poorly as we did offensively, we can give ourselves a chance, and we've come a long way, my friend.
Said it at the beginning of the season, every game is going to be close with this team.
Yeah.
You just got to find a way down the stretch to make a play here or there to get yourself in position to win. They did that Saturday. One play, a 4-point play, cost you the game, really, what I thought. Up against another break. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin-lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
No monthly payments for 120 days at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs discounted up to $7,500 off. The midsize Chevrolet Malibus up to $5,250 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there tuning us in, waiting, sharing your lunch hour with us. We are brought to you each and every day by Big Fish Real Estate. Give them a call today for all your real estate needs here in the Lake Martin area, as well as down there on the coast. 551 Big Fish. Or look them up, bigfishlakemartin.com. We had a conversation when we were looking for a coach, when we were thinking about firing Brian Harsin, and we all throw out our favorites, and I said that Hugh Freeze was my number one.
Mm-hmm.
And why did I tell you that? Because I thought he was a little bit better recruiter than Gus Malzahn. Thought he was a little bit better coach. I think I was wrong. I think he was a lot better recruiter than Gus Malzahn, just by the results that we've seen so far.
I agree with you. I think that he was a little bit better recruiter than Gus Malzahn recruiting at Ole Miss in comparison to Auburn, which is no comparison when it comes to facilities and, money that's coming through the program, and I think prestige of the program. Would you put any comparison with Ole Miss to Auburn when it comes to that?
I would not.
I wouldn't either, and I don't think most would. So I'm sorry.
Now, I
Ole Miss
bet Ole
fans.
Miss fans would, but I don't know.
Nationally, I don't think that they would.
I don't think the results and the history line up with that, no.
Good point. So now that we're seeing what Hugh Freeze can do, and I think he's one of those guys that's got something to prove, a lot like Bruce Pearl. So how much is that buying into what he's doing now? I don't know. All I know is we're getting some success. I'm hearing the name out there in the state a lot more. I'm seeing our coaches in and out of our state schools and our bordering state schools more and more. The activity just feels completely different than what we saw under the Harsin era, and I'm sure glad that Harsin regime's out the door. And there's a couple of good things that we learned during that Harsin regime. One, Cadillac Williams is somebody we need to keep around Auburn. Would you fair to say with that?
Yes.
What he did after all of that went down the tubes tells all of us that we've got something great there, not only now but to build on in the future with Coach with Cadillac and Zach Etheridge. Yeah. I think that he held things together when it was tough to hold together in the background. I think both of those guys have become maybe even more of a leader than they were when they first came on board with Harsin, and I bet that leadership just continues to grow over the years.
I think you're right. Now, look, I mean, results are still, let's wait and see what happens. But as we said the whole time that Brian Harsin was here, we just want to see some activity. We just want to see some effort. We just want to see some movement in the recruiting front to tell us that, okay, the future, there is some prospect, there is some sunshine, there's some light at the end of this tunnel. And we're obviously seeing that right now. Now, what the play will be on the field, we'll see. Philip Montgomery, brand new offensive coordinator, really kind of unlike what or something different than we've seen so far. Ron Roberts, definitely something that we've seen so far. So Ron Roberts, don't know a lot about him, but a nice piece at under Auburn Undercover or Inside the Auburn Tigers on him today, talking about his defense wreaking havoc. They call it the havoc rate. We calculate tackles for loss, sacks, pass breakups, interceptions, turnovers, all of that stuff, any of that stuff. Our goal as a defense is always to work in the 20% category. That means on 20% of the plays, we've got to work to create havoc. I think Auburn, to put that in perspective, Auburn was in the 18%. Auburn was in the 14% range this past year. So not where they want to be, not where any of us want to be. So this is what he said. Nowadays you have to be multiple in college football and the SEC. You have got to have multiple. We can't just sit in a front unless you have better players than everyone else. You can't do that. Offensive coordinators will pick you apart. The skill level is too good. They will find a weakness. We'll be multiple in what we do, but we will play with aggression. We will blitz. We will pressure. We will be an aggressive defense. An aggressive defense that causes tackles for loss, that causes turnovers, that blitzes a lot, gets after the quarterback. I mean, that's kind of what you want to say.
Well, it sounds great.
It sounds good.
Okay, let me – I've heard this pitch. I'm getting old enough that I've heard these pitches not only in the college level but down on the high school level. Brett Pritchard's listening in. He's just started laughing as I'm saying this. But you can talk about being aggressive. You can talk about all-out blitzing. You can talk about all of these things, but if you're not dynamic and excellent in the secondary, you better watch out. Because what most of that means is you're going to go to cover zero. Mm-hmm. You're going to do it a lot. And you're going to be in man coverage. And you're going to be out on an island. and it sounds great. But if your safeties aren't very good in coverage, it can get exceptionally bad.
Yeah.
I've seen them be really bad. If your linebackers aren't good in coverage, it can be really, really bad because you're putting guys in unless you're really good athletically and you can beat the offensive unit with maybe 4 to 5 men going at the quarterback, which doesn't sound like when you're blitzing, you're sending extras at the quarterback. You better be really good in coverage.
Well, that's
and be
what he
able to
said.
cover. Okay.
Unless you got better talent than everybody else.
Does Auburn have better talent than everybody else currently?
No.
Okay, well, you better not only be multiple, but you better pick your times when you're going to throw that aggression out there.
And you better be really good schematically.
Yes. Because I've really, and I can say this, I've watched a high school team use that aggressive nature before, and it's probably the worst defensive unit I've ever seen or called.
Every time I've ever heard a new defensive coordinator, it always is, we're going to be aggressive. That's one of the words you always hear.
You better be outstanding athletically, is what I'll say to that.
We get a break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after these messages.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
L&G Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
For more than 40 years,
Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
WAXC TV3's Basketball Game of the Week is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC on the Columbus Parkway in Opelika. Get ready to smile. Catch game replays on WAXC TV3 and on our Roku app. Games replay Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. and also Saturday and Sunday at 6:30. Catch the replays of these games airing now from Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika and WAXC TV3.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you. Only a couple of more segments left in today's show. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind, 256-234-6221. Or you can dial us up on the Sportz Blitz Facebook page and make a comment. We got one from Luke, our resident Bammer. As far as the hiring, there's the hiring of the offensive, the OC and DC are concerned. He says, not great. But the ceiling is high for Reese. Still is good, but he is 64 years old. Does that concern?
It doesn't.
Age?
It doesn't with Nick Saban as his head coach.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, there's not a part of me that with Alabama questioning who their coordinator is going to be, and they just finished out the best recruiting class that the analysts feel that they've ever had, with pretty much Nick Saban being the only one to sell the program.
Yeah.
I mean, from a coordinator standpoint. So do I feel for Alabama when it comes to football? Not as long as they've got that man at the head. I think they'll be just perfectly fine. And if the question's around what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball, that's his baby there too. And so I think they'll be just fine on that side. I think Reese is a question. You know, what kind of offense does he want to bring? Does it mesh well with what Alabama's built from a recruiting standpoint? They've kind of become wide receiver U at this point. This year they weren't. They took a step back from where they have been. So, you know, I know they're doing a great job recruiting, but can they get it back up to that level? Because I think that's the reason these top-notch quarterbacks continue to pick Alabama, because they know they're going to have the Bows and the Joes to throw it to.
Well, like it's what Ron Roberts was talking about. If you got better talent than everybody else, you can do some different things. And you can do, I mean, sometimes you look at Alabama's offense, and in the past, past 7-8 years, a monkey could run that offense.
Yeah.
And you could be successful. Now, if you don't have the right guy, he can screw it up, i.e. Brian Harsin. But, you know, we'll see what happens with that. Could be interesting. Spring sports are, you know, they're here. We're almost there. Unfortunately, the Auburn women's basketball got their three-game winning streak broken by Florida, but hopefully they can continue to make some strides. Softball on the horizon, baseball on the horizon. Football going to have some early spring. They're going to be practicing February 27th is when they start practice. Then you're going to have the eight-day game a little bit after that, April 8th. What are you looking forward to the most, you think?
Well, the football, which hasn't been the answer that I would have given in the past. You know, I think what Butch Thompson's done with the baseball program is going to continue to make more of us want to show up and support that program. I mean, a couple of College World Series appearances over the last 3 years, and I think also what you're seeing from the recruiting standpoint of the talent that Butch Thompson's throwing out there, I think we'll just continue to buy him more and more. But I don't know about you, but I talked to a lot of Auburn fans that are interested in the A-Day game, interested in seeing Hugh Freeze, more than not to show him the support that the fan base has for his efforts in a short 6 to 8 weeks that he's been there at Auburn. And I think you'll see us show out and come and support. Even Brett Pritchard's talking about going out and attending an A-Day game. I can't remember the last one that he went to.
I think I've only been to one in my life. It's just never been any kind of interest to me. There's only one thing less interesting to me than spring football, and that's NFL preseason football. So, I mean, however, having said that, this may be something I would be tending. Wanted to go and support Hugh Freeze, like you said, to show him, like, say, look, man, we appreciate beyond measure the effort that you have come in and shown and given us hope that, you know, for the future, because we had none. It's been some dark days, Randy.
I've been right there with you. I've been in the midst of those dark days, and I've unfortunately had to come on programs like this and vocalize my displeasure.
Yeah.
And I have been crucified at times for what I have said with my displeasure, because there are many Auburn fans out there, including my father, that will just go down with the ship. Just refuse to call a spade at times when it comes to their beloved Auburn football program. And I can appreciate that, and they are that way. But I will say this about softball. I can't buy into softball until I'm shown that we're going to be a good team. I hate that I'm that fair weather fan. Now, once I'm shown that we got a really good team, I'll buy in. I think a lot of Auburn fans feel the same. Do you agree with that, Andy?
I think that's probably about right. Mickey Dean says he thinks this is his best team, not that he's had at Auburn, that he's ever had in his coaching career. He's been around for a while. I think the talent is there.
I think the pitching's there.
I think that SEC is really, really good. So you better be good if you're going to compete in this conference. Like you said, now the pitching staff, if it's healthy, I mean, you know, I think that Auburn's got a chance to be really good. So we'll see what happens with that. But
the issue since he's taken over has been power hitting and ability to put up runs in tight games with top-notch SEC caliber pitchers.
He got a lot better last year.
He did, and if that continues to get better, this team's going to get better, because I think we've got a couple of pitchers here on this staff that can keep us in all way.
Ain't no question. Take another break. We'll be back with one final segment on this Tuesday of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world. of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
OGS Tournaments. Russell Marine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren present Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Attention! Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? You may be entitled to compensation. Call Zantac Justice now for a free legal case review. The FDA has warned that Zantac and other medications containing heartburn drug ranitidine may be contaminated with cancer-causing agent NDMA. Consult your physician prior to discontinuing any use of medication.
Please call 800-379-5986.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker Kia is now Sons Kia of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons Kia of Montgomery, family owned, family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Kind of 68 today.
Beautiful. It was actually cold this morning.
It was.
We were loading up. I wouldn't say. Let me stress, the we part is a lie. It wasn't me loading up, but we had our sign group heading out for a big install this morning. It was cool outside, and they said, just wait, just give it a couple hours, everything be perfect. It's February in the South.
And I looked, and then Saturday, the high is 44.
It's this way. We can have all 4 seasons built into one in 1 month in the South, can't we?
Yep. But today, enjoy it today. I'm going to enjoy it today because it is February the 7th, like you said. And on this day, a few Super Bowls. Super Bowl 44, the Saints defeated the Colts. This was the one Drew Brees got his Super Bowl championship.
Interception return off of Peyton Manning that really secured that championship for Brees. He was the best player in the league that year, if you remember. So it was a deserved championship. It was an outstanding offensive group, and but it was that interception return that kind of sealed the deal.
Super Bowl 50, the Broncos defeated the Panthers. That was Cam Newton.
Peyton Manning, the quarterback.
Peyton Manning, the quarterback.
Peyton
Manning did nothing.
Not needing to do anything other than just not turn the football over 5 times, and that's one that I remember kind of like the Ravens championship with Ray Lewis. It was a defensive one championship. sometimes you get every once in a while you'll get the Rams that'll step up and they'll have a good enough defensive group that's the reason that you win. But more times than not, even in the college game, it's the offenses that are winning these championships now. But that was one where you go, that Broncos defense was so much better than anyone they played that year.
Von Miller just created havoc. Talk about creating havoc. He was all after Cam Newton that day. And Super Bowl 55, the Buccaneers and Tom Brady's the last Super Bowl for Tom Brady as they defeated the Chiefs.
Easily.
Yeah.
It was a shock, and they did
Blowout.
Did it all over the field, ran the football well. Leonard Fournette was a standout in that football game and just got all the pieces put together and capped off what is, in my opinion, the greatest of all time's career.
Ain't no question.
I don't know how you argue it.
I don't know how you argue it anymore. Tom Brady is the GOAT. Happy birthday today, Buster Crabbe.
Don't know him.
Gold medal winner, 1932 Olympics in swimming.
Yeah.
Was Tarzan, and it became Buck Rogers as well in the old shows. Well,
I didn't know
Pete Postlewaite.
Definitely
I know you
don't know that
him.
guy.
Have you ever seen The Usual Suspects?
Yes.
Great movie.
It is a good one.
He is Kobayashi.
Okay. All right.
That's Kobayashi, the lawyer. There was a lawyer, Kobayashi.
You've got some names on here, Andy.
Bert Hooton.
Don't know Buddy Burt.
Hall of Fame pitcher with the Cubs and the Dodgers. Dan Quisenberry. You know Dan Quisenberry.
Dan Quisenberry kind of had the submarine-style pitching form. I had a coach at one time that forced me down to there, and I actually watched some Quisenberry stuff back then. But man, it wasn't that he was sidearm. I mean, he was throwing the ball from the ground.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Here, I don't remember this guy, to be perfectly honest with you. Robert Brazil. They called him Dr. Doom, but he was from Mobile, Alabama. Hall of Fame linebacker with the Oilers.
Didn't know him.
I didn't know him. But, I mean, good for him. James Spader. You remember James Spader.
I know James Spader.
Pretty in Pink.
Yep.
80s
movies.
A lot of 80s movies.
Yeah.
You ever watch The Blacklist? I hadn't either, but people love it.
You've heard it's good.
I've heard it's good.
Do you have time while you're sitting outside tanning to get to watch it this afternoon?
No.
Okay.
Garth Brooks, born on this day, 1962.
He made a little comeback, out making his next billion.
Yeah.
Not many entertainers have performed and made the money.
90s.
Yeah, he's owned whatever he's chosen to do. He built the stadium routine that had people flocking to watch him. I mean, he was Taylor Swift before Taylor Swift.
That's true. That's good. Good point. Chris Rock, born on this day, 1966.
Is he the best?
I don't know if he's the best.
Who do you think's the best comedian?
Oh, boy. Of all time?
Well, he's in the conversation, Andy.
Maybe so. I mean, I'd have to think about that. That's a good question. Best comedian of all time. Jerry Seinfeld's pretty good.
Jerry Seinfeld, depending on your choice of taste, yes, but he's still on the list.
Eddie Murphy.
I think Eddie Murphy
is
of our generation, it's Eddie Murphy.
Of our generation, yes.
The generation before, it's Pryor.
If you look, I mean, I'm of a different mindset now than I used to be, but man, if you've never seen Raw or Delirious,
you've missed out.
Those are two of the funniest I've ever seen. But I mean, you know.
Hey, new generation, it's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Many would argue you down that he's the best of all time.
I would not disagree, to be honest with you right now. Stanley Roberts played at LSU.
Remember
with Shaq 1 year. Juwan Howard,
great player.
Another one of the 5-5. Steve Nash and Matthew Stafford.
some great athletes down at the bottom. Most of the time, you're not running down athletes, it's actors.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
Still got birthdays.
He's Randy. I'm Andy. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.